Awesome. It's another beautiful day here at Impact Masters Media, and we're still covering tech ecosystem in Africa. And today we have an interesting guest, one of the guy who is building amazing solutions. When you talk about fintech, he has done it all for over a couple of years now. And today we have one and only Bernard Banta. Welcome, Bernard. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, MK, for inviting me here.
Yes.
It's one of your early podcasts.
Yes, absolutely. And what we're trying to do here is tell the story the way it is, and ensure that we pass on the knowledge, we disseminate the knowledge, and know who are the shakers and movers when it comes to innovation and especially tech. Because, as you know, Africa has come a long way in ensuring that we are innovating.
Very true.
We have a seat on the table. And we can't talk about this because I've known you for some time now. And you're one guy who really is passionate about building innovations that can actually impact life. Yeah. But before we go to that, I would like to know, who is Bernard Banta? Who is Bernard Banta?
I'll say I'm an entrepreneur and also a software engineer at heart. I'm also a father to two daughters.
Okay.
And one son. Also a husband.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So my passion is in entrepreneurship, something I've always wanted to do for many years, all the way since high school. Yeah, always wanted to build a successful company, and we're on the right track.
Audit. So let's not jump the gun here and talk about entrepreneurship. But where did you start? Where did this Bernard Banta start from?
My story is very long.
Yes, please.
But
you have all the time.
just make it short.
Okay.
Because I'm sure we are going to do many podcasts after this.
Yes.
I'm going to detail about different stories. But I've always wanted to. I'll say it started since childhood. I loved electronics.
Yes.
And from primary school, I used to repair electronics for neighbors.
Okay.
To make money.
Nice.
So people will bring DVDs, they'll bring iron boxes. I would repair that for them. And I would get something in return, maybe 200 shillings, 500 shillings. Yeah, so I really used to like that. I knew one day I was going to start something.
Yes.
I didn't know how.
Yes.
And then fast forward to high school, I went into a remote high school. I didn't know about computers.
Where were you born, Banta? Where were you born?
I was born in Nakuru.
Yes.
It's in Rift Valley in Kenya.
Yes.
And then in 1992, so that time we used to live in a place called Mosamit. And then clashes happened in 1992.
Exactly. So you guys experienced the Mau Summit clashes?
Yeah, I did. But that time
were they called Mau Summit or Molo clashes?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But it was really bad in 1992 because that's when the multipartyism, democracy was really heated. People wanted multi-party after some law was passed for just having one party, which was KANU.
Yeah.
And this actually advises because now in the electioneering period, guys, when we listen to this, we are just 3 days to the general election in 2022.
Yeah.
So this is really important to understand this because most people are scared, especially from Rift Valley.
Yeah.
Here Kisumu also is one of the hotspots among many other places that these things have been happening in the past.
Yeah. Also Rift Valley, it's things if you hear stories of people living there, it's like horror movie.
Ah.
Yeah, people abandon their houses. You carry.
Did you guys get evicted?
Yeah, but I don't know much about that time. But I was told it was very worse. It was very bad, and we had to be dressed. That time, I think maybe I was. I don't know, maybe like 4 years. I'm not sure. It was 1992. Yeah,
You're pretty young.
I think I was maybe 3-4 years there.
3 to 4 years, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was so bad to a point where the community or the tribe that didn't like us, they were going home to home, and they were looking for young boys because what they did was very bad. They were afraid that for any male kids, when they grow up, maybe they're going to revenge. So they were looking for the boys.
So it was like that story in the Bible where
Yeah.
male children were killed in, I think it was Moses, Exodus.
Yeah.
So it was, okay, so which tribe was being attacked majorly?
I would say the tribe from Central, which is Kikuyu. And like Rift Valley is, there's always conflict whenever there are politics or elections or any like political conflicts or something like that. So it's mostly between the Kalenjins and the Kikuyu. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it must be have been sad for you as a young. I can imagine 3-4 years you're quite scary when it comes to such a situation where
It was
you
very
don't know what is happening and why people are being killed.
Yeah, but I also don't remember much about that time. Those were stories.
So these were stories given
These
to you
were stories.
by your bigger brother.
Yeah, being 3 years, 4 years,
Yeah. You just
I don't have the memories.
you're breastfeeding or something. No, 3 years you should be breastfeeding. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but so I don't remember much, or maybe almost everything.
Yeah.
So I was just told by my parents,
Mm.
and we had to be dressed in real dresses, just like girls, so that
Yeah.
so that when they come and they look, they'll see
There's no boy.
there are no boys here.
Yeah. That must be crazy.
Yeah, and my father that time he was in Coast in Lamu. So he used to work there, and my mother and all of us were in Mosamit.
So there was no male figure to protect you guys or fight for you.
They were,
Yeah.
but since my dad was away, he thought, why should my family suffer, and I can bring them here. That's how he moved from Mosamit to Coast.
Yeah, because me, when I knew you I knew this guy is a Costarian, nini, and I never knew this backstory. So though later on I knew that you have some strong relatives in Mosamit.
Yeah.
And I knew you also used to live there with your grandparents at some point.
Yeah.
That's the only part I knew. I never knew 1992 actually found you in Mosamit, and that's why you guys had to relocate to
In fact, that was a major reason. I think if without the 1992 clashes, we would have been.
We would grow there.
Yeah, would have been have grown there my whole life. I was a proper Shags guy.
Nice. That's quite interesting. So you guys moved to Lamu or Mombasa?
So we moved to Lamu briefly, and then went to a place called Macnon Road.
Oh.
Yeah, and then after a few years, my dad settled there.
In Macnon?
In Macnon. Bought land, built houses.
So you guys schooled in Macnon? Or?
Yeah, schooled in Macnon.
Nursery school to Standard 8 or?
Nursery school all the way to class 7, 8 there.
How was that experience?
It was really good. So most of the time I like to say that I skipped primary school because I wasn't really focused on
you're on vacation on primary school.
Throughout.
And getting in trouble as much as you could.
Yes.
What kind of trouble do you remember?
Many things. Many things, and also many bad things.
It's okay. What are
Yeah.
those many? Because I know there are young guys who are in primary school
Yeah.
and they might be getting in trouble a lot. And I'm saying this because I have ever been in so much trouble. And you think, man, I'm the the guy who is always on the bad side of things. Will I ever make it in life?
Yeah.
But when I look at you, I think most of those experiences shaped you to who you are.
Yeah, very, very true.
Yeah.
I think I liked playing so much, like more than education. I think my goal in primary school was just to have fun.
So you're just another child.
If I could avoid studying, in fact, there was a point where I just told because I was very smart. Whenever I get serious or maybe I get someone strict to just make sure I study, I will be like top 3. Then when that person who is strict, like my uncle, went away, I went back to my position.
Default settings.
20-30.
Yes.
Yeah. And my mother was worried and said, I need to look for a tuition teacher to have extra classes so that I can pass.
Yes.
So she paid for that. Then I found a way of not going. So I'll go there after 4. 4 p.m. after classes. And then go home, change, carry my books. And then on my way to the teacher, I hide my books. And then go play football. Then in the evening, maybe at around 6, closer to 7 there, take the books, go back home. So that went on for months. Then my mother one day realized, hey, my boy has not been going to the tuition classes or maybe the extra tuition classes.
That was over the holiday and evenings.
Also during the school when we were still in session.
So after 4, you just go to the tuition.
So we finish the classes at 4.
Yes.
And then rush home, change, check the books, go to the teacher to do the extra tuition classes. But
for you could just go and
then
play.
She found out. She was very mad about it. And she asked me, don't you want to go back to school? I said, yes.
How old are you when you sounded like you're too confident about playing?
Very confident.
How old were you?
Very confident.
You knew what you wanted.
All I wanted was to play.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I told my mom I don't want to go to school again. She said, okay. So from tomorrow, no school. And then I was so happy.
By the way, how old are you, or which class were you in?
Maybe that was class 3, 4 there. Yeah, class 3, 4 there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like 10, 11 years old.
I think so. So that was around 4 p.m. after school. Yeah, I went to the field and enjoyed myself. And
you had a good time.
I had a good time. I was telling everyone.
Yeah, I'm not going to school anymore.
Life is going to be just...
I'll be here, guys.
Yeah, having fun.
After school, you'll find me here.
Yeah. Yeah. Then went back home at around 7.
Yes.
And then started having second thoughts. This is too real.
Now there's too much time for you.
Yeah, too
good to be true.
Too good to be true.
Yeah.
So went home.
Did your mom ask you, like, did you enjoy the playing because this is what you wanted, or how was that conversation?
She was very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
She
Okay.
cooked.
I
think it was my favorite.
Cooking for the Playboy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fed me really well. Told me, my son, go take shower. Go to bed. Have a long
The senior.
Have a long day tomorrow.
The manager. The CEO himself.
Have a long day
playing.
tomorrow of playing. Yeah. So, but then started having second thoughts and say, it doesn't seem right. Something is fishy here.
Yeah.
But just to take an extra caution, I decided to put my, the mosquito net. Make sure
that was like defense mechanism
to delay any,
or to detect any intruders.
Yeah.
Is it called the Dada or how do they say it?
Yeah.
The
So
wee hours of the night.
yeah, went to bed early.
Mm-hmm.
So when started now getting sleep after like 1 hour, the net was untucked
Allah.
very fast.
Allah. And the reality hit you.
The reality hit me.
And you knew who is your mother and who is the son in the house and who is the mother in the house.
Yeah, the following morning, I woke up very early, went to school.
So the conversation at night was really serious.
It was not a conversation.
Did you get the beating or what?
Serious beating.
That a beating. That African mom beating.
Yeah. And that idea of not going to school never crossed my mind again.
It was just the way
Yeah.
And since that day, you knew school is one of the key roles that you have at that age.
Not really. I continued having fun. Yeah. But the thought of like me stopping, so I knew this is something.
There is no way you're not going to school.
Yeah. So, but I continued with the school. I had fun. For me, like grades never mattered.
So you were just in
As
school
long as
to
I'm
satisfy.
able to be promoted to the next class, that's what mattered.
You did enough.
Yeah, enough. So if I could get like
And what do you think about it now that you are at least a father, right? What do you think what used to push you to like, just be in school and not be serious about it or work hard? You just want to be a kid having fun, or you didn't understand why should you be in school, or?
I think I don't regret it. I don't regret it.
But what pushed you to be in school? Because you're just being in school, because otherwise if you go at home, you'll get a beating.
What pushed me to go to school is my parent.
So
because as I told you, I got to a point where it was okay for me to stop going to school.
And you're confident that the school is not one thing you need.
Yes. Yeah. So I think for me, what really mattered was just to have fun as a child. And it's the same thing I want my kids to experience. To
Be just a kid. Enjoy
just have
being
fun.
a kid
fully.
fully.
Yes.
And how will they get the knowledge? Or how
Of
do you
course.
think the knowledge should be shared? with
So
them
for
as they
me,
grow up?
is incorporate education into
That fun. In their
So fun
day-to-day
and
life.
education should be the same thing. Like education should not be serious. Yeah. So if you can incorporate like learning into games, like different games, like because there is learning, like you can learn in so many ways. So when a child is
Life itself is it's a big lesson.
when a child is enjoying cooking or baking, you incorporate education there, and it can be the child can learn measurements. So if it takes you an hour to cook a cake, when you are teaching your child, or maybe you're cooking with them, make it last as long as they enjoy, maybe like 3 hours. And then you learn about measurements, you learn about grams, you learn about so many things, you learn about chemistry. So for me, education for kids should be that way. Kids should have fun.
Yes.
And nowadays, it's so serious. Kids wake up at 5. By evening, they're tired. They don't get time to play. So
They are, and now,
for me,
by the way,
it's like does not look good at all.
and do you think now that with the new curriculum CBC, is it addressing that? Because there is so much hands-on in their day-to-day activities. Are they trying to incorporate that?
It's an improvement. It's an improvement.
But not yet there.
Not yet there. I feel maybe there is more that can be done, especially training teachers, making sure there are available resources in classes. Because also the teachers are also figuring it out. But it's a very big improvement. We are heading in the right direction.
From the previous curriculum.
Yeah.
So you survived that kind of, life until you are done with primary school, or did you change at some point?
I survived. Yeah, but I got very low grades
after
after primary.
Well, it's not funny, but you make it sound funny because you're playing out here, you're not serious, and then of course you won't get good grades.
Yeah.
So you didn't get to be called in a good school, high school, that is.
Was I really called? I'm not sure. So
There was no letter for you.
I think I got a letter from a remote school somewhere in Embu.
Like local schools.
A local school.
Uh-huh.
That will take the students with the kind of marks I had.
Ah.
So and there's no way I could go to that school. I think it was very remote. It was very far. I'm not sure whether it was boarding or day school. It's not really. I don't remember clearly. So my dad told me you need to repeat.
Class 8 now.
Yeah, because clearly there is no way you're going.
With these marks.
Yeah, with these marks.
And what was going through your mind then?
There's no way I can repeat.
So repeating was not an option.
Yeah. So losing like time, you can't spend an entire year. Yeah, you just need to go to the next step.
Which is?
To go to high school. And at some point, it dawned on me that education is important.
So
because now, tried now to figure out what am I really doing.
Because your colleagues also are being invited in these, provincial school, national schools. And you're here now, you are out of options.
So I started thinking about my future because I loved entrepreneurship. I loved engineering.
You started doing these electronics while you're in primary school or?
In primary school.
Which class?
Maybe class 4 there, going forward.
Okay.
I'll make so many things. Repair.
And you'd get some extra cash.
Yes. And not so much, but enough to motivate me.
Yes.
Yeah, getting like 50 shillings.
That's a lot of money back in the days.
That was really
for a kid, because everything is provided for you.
Yeah. And also, I was also really good with painting.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that part when we spent some time together. Yes.
Yeah, I was really good. Like my mother was in a number of chamas, so they'll go to like these government exhibitions. So they'll make like different paintings and create different like arts. So they'll pay me to do that job, and then when they go present at the showground, most of the time they won.
Did they get some resources out of that?
Yes.
And did these resources get to you, or you're too little to get?
I was paid.
Any cut?
I was paid.
After or before?
Before.
Yeah.
So for me,
so if they lost, that's not up to you.
I've done my job.
You need to pay. Yeah. Nice.
So that's how it was. So I didn't want to repeat. My father was very strict.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was So, my father was very strict, and he said, there's no way you have to repeat. He went on a journey. And he said,
so that was like a law. The law was made.
By the time I come back, I need to find you in class 8. Yeah. So, my mother had a very hard time when my father was away. Yeah. At some point, I even wanted to run away because there's no way I could go to class 8.
Study with your juniors.
Yeah. So my father had to cut short his journey to come because
take your business.
Things were very hot at home because of me.
Yes.
Then he came back and asked me, what do you want? I said, I told my dad just look for any school, high school I can go to. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. And I promised to work hard. Yeah. That was a turnaround for me.
So you went to Form 1 well aware that this is not a joke. I need to put in work.
Yes, because I had dreams. If I want to achieve my dreams.
What dreams did you have, Banta? At that age?
I would say still entrepreneurship.
So for you...
But it was not very clear.
Yes.
What I knew is...
business.
I just need to go to high school, perform very well, and go to university. Yeah.
But all this is just in pursuit of knowledge that can shape you to be a very successful entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah, so went into high school. Again, very remote. In a place in Coast called Mazeras High School. Called Mazeras High School. So people are not performing very well. When I got into that school, I had the person who was number one got like C+. And I was wondering if that person is getting C+. And then with that D minus in I don't know, was it mathematics or
sciences?
Sciences, one of the sciences.
Yes.
So basically, that person was not going anywhere.
Yes.
So if that was number one, what is going to happen?
Yes. To the rest.
Yeah, about my future. So I really wanted to go to another good school. And what I told my dad is, I need to go to a good school. People are not performing.
So this after spending a year, 2 years, a term, how long?
That was within year one, after the second term.
It's called Form 1.
In fact, yeah, Form 1, the first term. I started having those thoughts. Yeah, and then my dad told me, you can't say the school is underperforming.
And you yourself, you're among the others.
Yeah, so you have to be number one.
Then
there should be a very big gap between you and
the second person.
Yeah, and that time I was, I think maybe number 30.
And you're saying this school is not performing?
Yes.
Yes. So
yeah, so that's what my dad said.
So you had to make a deal.
You can't look for a good school until you perform. And I want to see you become number one. And then again,
yes,
very big gap between you and the second number two. So from that point, I decided that I have to work very hard, and I need to perform very well. But I didn't know how to learn, how to read to become number one. And what I ended up doing was I needed to study and to understand how do people become number one. And the best way to do that was to hang around with the people who are performing, students who are performing. So there were big differences, because when I joined, I found myself in a group that was not really performing very well. So I joined the group, or started hanging around with the people who are performing very well. I started to observe them.
Yes.
Started to observe them.
Yes.
What time they wake up in the morning, how they study.
Yes.
The conversation they have. So
yes.
I realized their conversations were very different, even
yes.
after classes. The other group that I was in, people will discuss about movies, will discuss about fun things, or
yes.
maybe what they enjoyed over the holiday.
Yes. So
decided I need to observe these people and see how they pass.
So you did a behavioral study?
Yeah. So I observed them for a very long time. When they wake up, I wake up in the morning. When they study, I study with them. And slowly, at some point, my grades started improving.
And it's the same school that was not performing really well?
Same school. Because I had to do what we agreed with my dad. I have to become number one.
Yes.
And there should be a gap
yes.
between number one and number two.
Yes.
So that took time. Took more than a year. So it took time. But after 1 year,
Yes.
I became number 2.
Yes.
That was in now like Form 2.
Mm.
And then like second term Form 2, I became number 1.
Yes.
And then number 2, that's the person who used to become number 1. They will come to me and ask, Banta, hey, how did you do it?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, how did
What's the
you
hack?
Yeah, so I became number 1.
Mm.
Then went to my dad and told my dad, you see now.
This school,
passed.
they're not serious.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's something important you have said about hanging out with guys. So, do you think peer pressure actually contributes to some of the smartest people not to really pursue their maximum potential?
Yeah, so I believe that. And I believe the people you hang around with, your friends, like affect your life, can affect your goals. So if you're an entrepreneur, you hang around with people who are successful in entrepreneurship. So for me, I've formed different circles concerning or about different goals I have. So if it's church or Christianity, I have circles of people that inspire me. If it's about families, I have people who inspire me, people I want to be like them. If it's entrepreneurship, I have people who are close to me. So I have different circles of people who inspire me in different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. That's quite something there. Yeah. So here you are. So your father changes you the school, or
yeah? So he
at this point,
he looked for a really good school. It's a school called Memon High School. Majority of the students there are Indians.
So even the culture is quite different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Culture is very different. So like it was a different environment for me. Because I've come from like a remote school and moved to a school where like it's really good. The facilities are different. Like the education level there is different. Teachers are really good.
Yes.
So many resources.
Yes.
Computer labs.
Yes.
And so many things. I really liked that school. Yeah. And in the school I moved from, I was number 1. In this school, I knew nothing. So that was really good for me because
now you are like the guy who was closing the door when people were called.
Yeah, not so bad.
Those who are performed.
But I would say, I think it was a class of like 50. So I think I was around number 20 there.
Well, that is not bad. But given your aspiration and what you wanted to achieve, you realize you are number 1 of the of the others.
Yes. And that's what when I said I wanted a good school, that's what I was
You're looking for a challenge.
Yeah, because if you go to a good school, a school that is performing,
yes,
you're also going to perform well.
Yeah.
So for me, like environment matters. So you can be very smart, but if you're in a bad environment,
nothing matters.
Yeah, that can affect your progress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what tactics do you use here? Do you study the behavior, or how do you maneuver the system?
It's at that point I already learned how to learn.
Already you had the lessons.
Yeah, I got enough lessons. So what's remaining is to work hard and to take full advantage of the opportunities around. Yeah, the good teachers, materials, and like everything required. Yeah. So I worked hard, and the teachers really helped me. Yeah, and also got into computer studies. So I had not done computer studies in first year. Form 1 and Form 2.
Yes.
Then in this new school,
there was in the other school there was computer studies.
No, there's no computer studies.
There's not even a computer.
Not even a computer.
What?
Yeah.
And by the way, do you know, even up to today, Banta, and I think this is something we'll discuss at some point. There are still schools which don't have computers, and this is very sad. Given that we're in this field, and maybe we should. I don't know, maybe we should try and address some of those issues with time, given we're addressing them as individuals. Yes, but we'll talk about that some other time.
I agree.
Yes.
And that's what we are doing for the community.
Yep.
And we've been doing that for many years.
Yeah.
And we'll continue doing more of that.
Yeah.
And see how we can continue to empower people.
For sure.
Yeah.
So here now there's computer studies. And by the way, there is an interesting question I want to ask. So how is this culture? Do you get like culture shock with the Indians? Were you able to hang around with them? How did they study? Was it the same as Mazeras?
There was culture shock. Because also most of them are coming from wealthy families.
Privileged.
Yeah. So there were some who even drove themselves.
You are here coming.
Like
was it a day school?
It was a day school.
So you're here coming with Futsubishi.
Yeah.
And someone is coming with 4-wheel.
Yeah.
What?
So there was a culture shock. But that inspired me. That
it's all in the mind.
Yeah, I need to do well. Because for most of them, in fact, majority of them after high school went into family businesses. Got married.
So life was set up for them.
So for them, they were doing okay. So for me, I had to really work hard.
Yes.
Because there was no family business to go to.
You have to set yourself up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So got really challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I did my best.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think what was so when I started the computer science, the computer studies classes, that was also like the beginning of my career right now.
Yeah. So you understood that computers could do some amazing stuff.
Yeah. But before that,
yes,
like 3 months before, I enrolled in computer packages classes. And that was my first encounter with computers. So when I went to that school, I knew I want to do, like if there's a computer studies classes, I need to also enroll because I really like it. Yeah.
What did you like about computer studies specifically?
So from the beginning, I liked electronics. And I also liked cartoons. I also liked games.
Visuals.
The fact that I was able to... the fact that the things I learned, and computers back then, I think they were... I would say, like, for you to interact with a computer, it was a very big deal.
They are not also powerful as they are nowadays.
Yeah. So when I got that opportunity and then tried learning how to create cartoons, tried learning coding using the Excel, Microsoft Office macros. Yeah, so I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Nice.
And what I liked about computers compared to what I was doing in primary school, like repairing electronics, this one didn't require so much resources to start a business.
So it was not capital intensive.
Yeah, you just need to have access to a computer, and that's it.
Okay. That is interesting because also that's why most of the guys who get into software engineering just need a computer and the internet.
Yeah.
Your setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here you are, you study computer studies, you do computer studies, you have done your packages. But I understand for you to really understand how computers work, you need to understand some of the sciences, like physics.
Yeah.
And I'm sure here you're repairing capacitors in radios and transistors in some of the electronic gadgets. And now you are studying these things now in the book, and now you realize I was fixing these things like soldering one and things work, but this what transistor is, this what capacitor is. And then you're in a computer. Were you curious to like open one of the computers and see if it's the same as radio?
Yeah, at some point I bought my own desktop, and I learned so many things. I was opening it almost every day.
You bought yourself a desktop?
Yeah, so my father bought one.
Oh, after seeing you have the interest.
My passion grew, and so that I have interest in computers, and he bought me a desktop.
Your dad was so supportive.
Yeah, he was, and he's the reason why I'm doing computer science.
Nice. You did computer science, yeah.
Because without going to the computer packages classes, I wouldn't. And I don't know where he got that idea.
Yeah, because guys used to go to even right now, maybe guys go to do computer packages after Form 4.
Yes.
Here you're in Form 2, Form 3, and you did the computer studies.
Because he asked me, Banta, what are you going to... So it was during school holidays. And it will take like a month. So what are you going to do for an entire month? Just go across the road. There's
a cyber. Did you do it in a cyber or there was a college?
A small college, but mostly focusing on packages. It's like a cyber, not too big. Yeah. So I did my classes there and I passed, got distinctions. It was this like national
examination body.
Yeah.
Was it NEC?
I think it's NEC, or maybe a different. There's a different one. Yeah. So
even
I got the certificates. Got distinctions.
Nice.
That's the reason why I did.
So you started becoming curious, like, can I program? Can I? What does it take to do? Did you have like an idea about computer science, things like software engineering?
Not much. You see, when I picked that computer studies a subject, so there was a computer science teacher who did not think that was a good idea for me.
A computer science or computer studies?
Computer studies teacher. Or the teacher for that subject.
So did he discourage you?
He discouraged me because, you see, I haven't done computer studies Form 1 and Form 2. And from nowhere, I'm just taking this subject. So
as an elective.
I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
And if I'll fail, if I'm going to fail, then I'm also going to affect
the grades.
The grades, which will also affect his compensation.
In that school, by the way, is it one of the schools where people, if they got good grades, a teacher was compensated according to those grades?
Yeah.
As a they used to call it, I don't know, motivation something.
Yeah.
So for him, it was not from love and empathy. It was from, you're affecting my pay.
Yeah, and I wasn't like really good. Because even like operating the computer, like even typing, because could see that the other students were like typing very fast. When it came to like formatting documents, exams,
they had a very good idea about it.
They were really good. Microsoft Access, creating like simple projects. So I was struggling with those things.
But for him, was he okay? That's why maybe again he was not empathetic, because for you you're starting then, and these other guys maybe had an head start maybe when they were in primary school.
Yeah,
and I think that's very important even when we like talk to our kids or our friends or people who are in school. Sometimes you have to understand where someone is so that you can be able to either advise him or help him or guide them. Because if you judge them from what you see and you don't know if they're starting or what is bothering them, because I also understand there's some students who also have other troubles beside the school, and that actually becomes a problem for them to perform. And the teachers or the parents or the guardians or friends who take time to understand that, they're able to help them because they talk out of empathy and love and passion to make sure that they also succeed. So that's very, very important to note, especially for anyone who has someone you're worried about their performance and everything. And I meant to ask you this. I knew even right now, when most people are growing up, you're like, what do you want to become? Were you ever asked that question at some point? So not from your parent, but from school?
Not really. Because, you see, I grew up in a village and maybe those things do not really matter.
Yeah.
But deep down,
surviving in the village is the most important thing.
And the goal there mostly at that point was, I think school is important. You just need to perform well to make you a better person.
Not what you'll become.
So we grew up knowing that education is the key. That was the major
Motto.
goal. The major goal we needed to achieve.
And it still is, because if you think about it, maybe you'll not be where you are without education.
Very true.
Yes.
It has played a very big
In Africa, education is key, and that's why even when I look at different countries' policy, and I see how things like education are either from the funding, how people are compensated, the effort that are put across determines that country's success. Look at Botswana, look at Kenya, look at places like South Africa. Education plays a key role to where they are right now.
Yeah, very true.
And I can't point maybe any other thing besides education that propels those countries to be where they are. Even Egypt, by the way, Tunisia, right? And not only that, but also some of those governments have programs where you go abroad, get that knowledge, come back and implement it, or even if you want to stay there and implement it and come some other time, it's still allowed. So those are some of the key things. So education is still the key. That's the point I was trying to make. Yeah,
education is still the key. I don't think without education, I don't think how far one will get in life.
For sure. So now you do the computer studies. Did you start performing the sciences and math?
So I think term 1 doing the computer studies, I performed poorly. And
were you discouraged?
So I'm a person who is not discouraged easily.
Yes.
So if I decide this is what I want to achieve, whether it's doing badly or I'll just keep on doing it. And for me, the harder something is, the better.
You love the challenge.
I think I don't like comfort zone. I want to do things that people think
are impossible.
Are harder.
Yeah.
So that's what gives me
the mojo. Yeah.
So I performed poorly. The teacher was discouraging me, and I thought at that point, if I'm not going to perform very well, then maybe the next term, the teacher will be justified. Like making me drop that subject.
Okay.
So, but what I did at the end of that term, there's like 1 month holiday.
Yes.
So for the other subject, I was doing well. I was progressing well, apart from computer studies. So I went to the libraries, picked so many books about computers.
So you guys had a well-equipped library.
It was a good school. And like there were so many books that were donated by different organizations.
From the Indian community.
Yeah, from the Indian community. It's called a Memon community. So like it was a well-stocked library.
But the Memon is like a community like the Aga Khans and the rest.
Yes.
Okay.
It's similar to that. So there's Memon community, there's Aga Khan community, but I think Aga Khan is big and maybe, and there are communities in many countries.
Yes.
Just like the Aga Khan community.
Yes. And they have business entities like Aga Khan?
Yeah, just like Aga Khan. They have hospitals, they have school.
Yes.
That was one of them.
Yes.
In that compound, there was a primary school, nursery school, college, high school, hospital. So many things.
And that's why it's important we take some time and talk about community, because African, in its principle, it's formed through the community. Even how we used to survive before colonialism is through the community. And if we revisit that with the knowledge that we have, I feel like we can really go far. So Form 4. By the way, even before you go to Form 4, were you monolized in school?
So maybe before we go there, so after performing poorly, as I said, I went to the library, picked so many books, and for an entire month, I studied nothing other than computers.
Entire month.
An entire month. Even translated most of the times. So, and then also picked a number of books, because you see, if you go to a library, there are different categories. If you want computer science books, books about computers and different subjects to go to particular like shelf. So I picked so many books, and one of those, or maybe some of those books, were biographies. Bill Gates biography, Steve Jobs, and other entrepreneurs, successful or maybe billionaires, I would say. So I also read those books, and that really inspired me, and that's how my dream was born. I decided that
this is the way.
This is what I want to do. I have to learn programming. I have to be really good. And in future, I'm going to create a software company. Or maybe to be an entrepreneur dealing with maybe something related to computers.
Yes.
Yeah. So went back to school, performed really well. Even the teacher was surprised because I'd learned so much.
That was the second term now after failing the first term.
Second term.
Yeah.
I did so well.
And now he started encouraging you like, this is the subject to do, or he was ish about it?
He had no option. At some point, he just, because I was performing well and there was nothing for him to worry about.
To point out,
which he performed very well after KCSE. And that's how my high school was.
By the way, were you monolized? You know.
So when I went to the first school, I was lucky because I became I became a prefect the first few weeks.
Okay.
After that. And then found a neighbor who was in Form 4.
So you had a guardian.
Yeah, so he protected me.
But people used to be monolized.
People used to be, but not very bad. Just making students do stupid things. Yeah. So for me, I can't say that I was. So I'll say that I was not monolized. For me, I had a.
Do you think monolization has a significance in anything?
See, monolization is basically bullying. Yeah, and for someone who is young, like Form 1, so if it's very serious, it can affect them. Yeah, but for me, I didn't experience that, so I think I was okay. But I think for people who go through that, it can affect them.
Yeah.
I've seen many students who don't want to go to boarding school
because of specifically they don't want to be
sometimes
monolized.
Maybe they've gone through things they can't say.
Yeah. And I hear sometimes, like nowadays, it gets really bad. People even are sodomized, which is extreme, given the circumstances, psychology of that, and then what it does to you as a person, even the self-esteem can affect like your whole life and how you deal with issues. So though I understand also there's some schools, like one of the schools that I went to, the monolization was not the monolization of bullying. So it was more of intellectual monolization. Like someone would tell you, well, it's still bullying because I don't see why someone would get you into that. But for me, it was fascinating in such a way that someone would tell you to draw a map of Africa and show them where your home is. And you see the scale, that's next to impossible, right? Of course, you'll get it wrong. So from that point, maybe you might learn geography or something. But it's either way, it's not good.
It seems the school you went to was really good.
Well, that's a story for another day. Not even the first school, because this is not something that was done to me. It was done to others. And I thought, by the way, if to some extent, this is kind of fascinating because if you look at it in the essence of how you study, how you find your way home and stuff like that, it's something that you can use to your advantage. But besides that, I don't think also it's good because it puts someone in a position they don't want to be in.
Very true.
And it's frustrating. So so you're finished your high school. Did you ace it?
Got good grades. And joined Nairobi University.
University of Nairobi. Nice. That's what we met, by the way. Day one.
During the orientation.
Yes. So how was that experience for you? By the way, I've never talked about this because I have my story. Maybe you have your story. Maybe when I get to tell
meeting.
No, the experience now in
Joining campus.
yes. Was it like, University of Nairobi is one of the best universities in Africa. It's the best university in East and Central Africa, I think.
Yeah.
It also is one of the best.
It's one of the best.
Yeah. So here you are in primary school, you are, playing around.
Yeah.
Now you have joined, like things are aligning.
Yeah.
So how was that? Or it was just normal until...
for me, it was not normal.
Yeah.
Because I really worked hard to get to that point. And like for me, I felt like I was very a fulfilled or like I felt like I've achieved something big. And there was more to come.
Yes.
Because I'm in the right place at the right time. And I wanted to learn coding because in high school also we weren't taught coding that much. So I wanted to really learn more. And also Bill Gates and other entrepreneurs, that motivated me. Did computer science, so I knew I was in the right place. And I need to learn as much as possible. And also being in Nairobi, coming from Coast, being in Nairobi was also really good because Nairobi is the capital city. This is where opportunities are.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I felt I've achieved something big.
The center of action.
Yes.
It's a New York of Africa here now. Yeah. That's what people are calling it.
Yeah. So for me, being in Nairobi, doing computer science, the opportunities were endless.
And by the way, I have to ask this, though we have never talked about this. Then there was, degrees like software engineering offered, I think, by Kenyatta University. There is a computer science and mathematics by JKUAT.
Yeah.
There is BBIT.
Yeah.
Offered by, I think, USIU, Strathmore, all these guys.
Yeah.
Which still it leads to one way or the other in software engineering.
Yeah.
Did you consider those? What like?
I considered so many things.
From there.
And I really researched extensively. That's what I normally tell people who are joining universities or people who want to do different courses.
Yes.
So because you might pick computer science, but when you look at the content,
the
curriculum, maybe it's not something you like.
Yes.
So I'm an engineer, so I like electronics, I like mechanicals.
Yes.
I like mechanics. Yeah, I like computers. So I researched extensively, like all those courses.
Yes.
Courses with computer science.
Yes.
Like computer science with mathematics. So I researched.
Yes.
And my goal was clear.
Yes.
I need to go into entrepreneurship and build software.
Yes.
And also, like, thinking about entrepreneurship, I wanted to pick a line that would be easy to set up because, like, you're looking for a path where...
And capital is not one of the things that you have.
Yes. So if I had enough resources, I could have picked electronics engineering.
Or mechatronic.
Or that.
From Dedan Kimathi.
Yeah. Other courses.
Yes.
But then, see, if you want to start and also thinking about Kenya in terms of also being hired at the electronics company in Kenya. Not really.
So if you're in Japan, electronic would be really big. China.
Yeah. So I'll go work for maybe one of the companies like Samsung or other companies and I'll learn so much. But in East Africa or maybe Africa in general, those companies, they might be there, small ones, but in general, like, they're not there.
So you're saying environment should advise you who you are, your capabilities, the opportunities available for you, and also the resources that are at disposal that you can use if there's... Because one thing that I've also, and I think most guys should understand is that even if you go to the university at the moment, there's no assurance that there are jobs waiting for you.
Yeah.
People take 5 to 10 years or 15 years to even get their first stable job.
Yeah.
So in your mind, did you like say, because I want to do entrepreneurship, did that advise you?
So the jobs didn't really matter for me because I'm a person who believes in passion. And in fact, when I picked computer science in high school, computer science was not like popular
Yes.
at that time.
Yes. There were like 3 universities who were providing computer science.
Most students who performed well went to do other courses like medicine, maybe actuarial science and business related courses. But I picked computer science because I'd researched, and that was what I wanted to do. It aligned with my goals. Yeah. And but because many people are saying, oh, computer science is not popular or marketable, so I approached this principal of that school.
Yes.
The high school.
The Memon.
Yeah, Memon High School.
Yes.
So I asked him, so I went for advice. People are saying this is not marketable, it's not popular. What do you think? And he said,
yes,
in each and every field, there are successful people.
Yes.
And in each and every business, there are successful people.
Yes.
So if you go to these offices, you'll find the executives, whether it's business, whether it's medicine, like very prominent doctors. So it might not be popular, but be those people.
Be among the few.
Be among the few. Yeah, if that's your goal, if that's a direction where you want to be the best, then it's okay.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So by the time you're coming to do computer science, you want to be the best.
Yes.
Ah, nice. So I think that's about it for your background and where you've come from to university.
Yeah.
And I'm now curious about how was this experience at the university? Because most of the universities will come to have good time.
Yeah.
If you had studied so hard in high school,
Yeah.
you want to come here and have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Maybe even start, a family. Others come into, drug abuse.
Yeah.
Others want to come to the city.
Yeah.
Others, come to the city to look for opportunity.
Yeah.
To run away from the poverty. So they know there is no going back. Yeah. What was it for you?
So for me, it was all about learning. So it's not like I was not going to have fun. I didn't have fun. So for me, it was learning.
Then everything else.
Exploit any opportunity that comes my way.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first thing was I need to learn so much in terms of coding. Yeah, I started interacting with people online on Facebook. I joined different groups of people who are coding, like groups for C++ on Facebook. Interacted with people all over the world, mostly US, even Philippines. Got friends who helped me and mentored me, and I was learning so much more than what I was learning in school.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the goal, because I wanted to learn coding as fast as possible.
Yes.
So that I start doing, because if you look at Bill Gates, they started early.
Yes.
They started the company while they were still in doing the degree, computer science degree, and many others.
Yes.
So I knew there was no time to waste.
You're already late.
I'm already late.
You're late to the party.
I'm already late.
So you have to double the work that needs to be done.
Yeah. So I needed to learn and then start doing businesses or build software. Yeah. And started working with a number of companies. Became a consultant while I was still in university. Yeah.
Well, here you are in first year, of course. Now you want to build software. But the first thing that you are you're studying is not building software. And this is maybe someone who want to know, like, how is that process like? Did that discourage you in any way, or did it motivate you, or did you understand why you need to understand all these other, basics, mathematics, communication skills, discrete math, algebra, and whatnot?
Yeah. See, before I picked computer studies,
Yes.
and afterwards, before I picked the university,
Yes.
I was looking at the curriculums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had an idea what to
So I'll go
expect.
through the course structure. Like, what are people doing in first year, in second year, in third year, fourth year, which, and then, of course, there were some units that were new to me.
Yes.
I will Google, research about them.
Yes.
Does this align to what I want to do?
Yes.
So I went through the entire curriculum.
Yes.
And everything in that curriculum, I liked it. Maybe there is most of it. Yeah, most of it I liked it and decided this is what I want to do. So for me, like, I knew what was coming.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew what was coming.
Amazing. Yeah. So you just wanted to learn, and in one way or the other, I think we mentioned some of things that can determine how you learn. And one thing you didn't mention is the instructor or the lecturer or the teacher.
Yeah.
That also can affect you really big deal.
Very
right?
true.
In the university, did you experience that? Because I understand some of the lecturers could just come, 2, 3, 4 lectures, then give you a lot of assignments and assume, this guy is good to be examined.
Yes, but university is different.
Yes.
Like, students and the lecturers are not so close compared to, like, high school, where
Yes.
teacher will like guide you. You take notes together. If something is not clear, they explain to you. In university, it's different. The lecturer comes, they give you a lecture very fast, like a quick walkthrough, and then the subject is over.
Yes.
So, but I think what I learned, or maybe what the university experience is, is that in high school, maybe the teacher will contribute maybe 40% of what you're studying.
Yes.
In university, it would be something lower, maybe like 5%.
Yes.
Then 95% is up to you.
So 30% is group work. Another maybe 40% is your effort.
Yeah.
And maybe another 20% is how smart or how easy you can grasp some of these concepts.
Yeah. In fact, like 95% is you.
It's
So whether you want to take part in groups,
yes, that's up to you.
Whether you want to do the assignments, it's up to you.
Do research, is up to you.
Yeah.
And I remember there was some books which there was only one book in the university for certain subjects.
Yeah.
And most of the time that book was not available in the library. So one could borrow that book, and by the time someone is returning the book, someone else is waiting to just take the book. So most probably, if you're not around the campus, or you're this guy who just don't know who has the book, and when they're returning it, you'll never get that book.
Yeah.
But you'll be examined based on the content in that book.
Yeah.
So how are you able to hack some of these subjects?
For me, it was...
And I know that also is happening right now in the universities.
So what really helped me was reading ahead.
Yes.
Because that's what I learned, and that's what like my father always told me to do, or advised me to do. So before you go into a class, know what you're going to study. Prepare for that. In fact, just prepare for questions.
Yes.
As opposed to questions and maybe understanding more.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we started a course, or maybe we started a unit, I will ask the former people, like if I'm in Form 2, I'll ask students who are in, if I'm in second year, I'll ask for students who are in maybe
third year and fourth year.
Do they have materials for this unit? And they will share with me. I'll go through them. And for me, I was able to... It was not that hard. Yeah. So because I was prepared, And also internet was there. So if we didn't have enough books, most of the time I would research online.
Nice. So in that context, did you try to look for a job while studying?
In first year, I think we were together. We looked for a job.
Yes.
In the land of opportunity.
Yes, you're in the capital city.
So we should get jobs.
Yes. And we're the smart, the best university.
Yeah.
So you must be very smart.
We're doing computer science. We have ideas.
Yes.
Yeah. So looked for a job.
Did you look for a job or prepare the CV first or the resume?
Prepared the CV. And all it had were like units.
Yes.
Zero experience.
Yes. And by the way, we're not looking only for a job. We're also looking for internship, like the practical experience.
In fact, it was more of an internship.
Yes.
So that time we used to call it attachment.
Yes.
Yeah, you get attached to like a company and learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who came with the idea we start from the 5th Avenue, Gong Road, to where it ends?
Oh, that's where we started.
That's where we started. By Futsubishi.
Yeah. we were very ambitious and aggressive at that time.
Yes. We dropped a lot of CVs, I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know if you remember that experience.
Yeah.
And I think anytime we walked outside the door, the CV was dropped in the dustbin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I remember, I remember clearly, is the company where I think we asked for like the boss. We were told the boss was not there. They asked us, what do you want? We said we are looking for an attachment or an internship.
Yes.
They asked, do you have a CV? We said, yes, we have. So I think it was a lady. So we gave that lady our CV and said, I'll give it to the boss when he comes back. And they'll contact us.
They loop. They call it looping back. Circle back.
Yeah.
Circle back to you.
But at that time, it was not like they're going to, not like it's a corporate term. So if they say we're going to maybe like circle it or maybe discuss it and then you're going to
get in touch.
So at that time, it was more of, we'll call you or we'll tell you. And then after 2 weeks, there was no communication. I think we waited for a bit more. We decided to go back. And we asked that lady, you said you're going to call us. You didn't call us. So we are here. We thought maybe it was a bit difficult to communicate to us.
Yes.
Maybe it was more work for you to call us.
So we are here. We have availed ourselves.
Yeah, instead of calling us, tell us we're here.
Yes.
We were very persistent.
Yes.
And I think...
but what happened to that? I can't remember what actually she told us because nothing actually materialized from that conversation.
I think because we were very persistent and we were not getting the message that we can't get the job, she ended up telling us just that. That
this is not going to happen.
Yeah. And next time when someone tells you, they'll call you, wait for the call.
Nothing is happening.
They don't call you, assume.
Nothing is happening. No action.
Yeah, the job has gone just like that.
But then there was no even job. I don't think even those CVs got to the right people. And I know that this actually happens a lot, especially when right now, the economy is not doing really well.
Yeah.
And I even in even first world country, people are laid off en masse.
Yeah.
It's not cool because these are experienced people.
Yeah.
They build solutions every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to know that sometime also creating your own opportunity, because from that point, that's when I decided I'm not going to get employed. I don't know if you know about this, but to me, I decided this is not something I'm willing to do until like 10 years later.
Yeah.
And because of Corona, that's when I consider I need to know how corporates works.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll be able to tell that in full on another episode for for people to get the context.
Yeah, looking forward to
Yes.
hear that story.
For sure, everyone wants to hear it, and I think I should tell it sooner than later. But did this discourage you? Did it even give you more drive to like, hey, I think entrepreneurship is one thing I want to pursue?
There was a bit of discouragement,
Yeah.
but I noticed, or what I knew is the reason we couldn't get the job is we didn't have experience. So the solution is to get the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, for computer science, it's different compared to other courses.
Yes.
Computer science is about the
Practicality.
skills, what you know, what you can build, what you can show. Yeah. So I decided to focus on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, focusing on that, if my mind serves me well, did the intellectual at the University of Nairobi at one point challenge you like, hey, these are guys from, you're in Memon. And Memon is one amongst good schools, high schools, but they are better schools, which they are called right?
Yeah.
And these are the guys you meet at the University of Nairobi.
Yeah.
At one point, did that really even challenge you more now that, you wanted more challenge?
So, number one, it felt good.
Yeah.
Because meeting with people who come from national schools,
Yes.
best schools.
Yes.
So I liked it. So it made me feel good. I'm studying with these people.
Yes, you are the right place.
Like I came from
nowhere.
From nowhere, like primary school, which was remote. I didn't perform well.
Yes.
High school, that was like very remote.
Yes.
Underperforming.
Yes.
So attending the same university, being in the same class with this student made me feel
amazing.
fun. Yeah. And I knew that my journey has just started.
Yeah.
And so they inspired me. I learned a bit, or maybe some things from them.
Yes.
Yeah, how they communicate, how they approach things.
Yes.
Yeah, so that also helped me.
Yeah. Now, which was your favorite language in the university? Because I remember we used to, and I think even that's the case right now. So guys are taught using C, things like assembly. Basically those in Java. Yeah. But when we are graduating on the ground, those languages, unless you are hired by Microsoft or Google or maybe these FANG companies. Yeah. But if you're getting hired locally, maybe you need to know things like Ruby, which is a good language to bootstrap. And we'll talk about that because there's a whole story around that. Things like Python, things like, I don't know if JavaScript then was a thing.
Not so much.
Yeah. But basically Python, Ruby, C++, C#. C# actually was a big thing then. Yeah. So how was that for someone who really want to understand if you're going to go to the university, you're going to get, actually even the 5% you talked about, you're not being taught. You're taught how to learn, right? Yeah. How are you able to now grasp this knowledge and start using it to learn what you don't know? Because if you're taught how to learn, of course, you're not being taught.
In fact, they give you information and explain things to you. So you have to take initiative and learn, ask questions. So that's why I said the 95%, which is all up to you. But about languages, so first year we did languages like Java, C++, and other languages. So they're okay for me. And one day we were taught artificial intelligence programming. And the lecturer used a language called Ruby, a Ruby programming language. And then for us to do the artificial intelligence programming, we had to learn Ruby. And he came with one pager.
Yes.
It was a 1-page PDF.
Yes.
With everything we need to know about Ruby.
Yes.
So that was amazing for me because it took a long time.
Yes.
To learn and so much effort to learn languages like Java, C++.
Yes.
And Ruby, it's been presented as a 1-pager, and I've grasped like 30% of it in day one.
Amazing. Yeah. I remember that experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I decided this is the language I want to learn. The reason being, if I'm able to learn it that fast,
yes,
that means like this language is simple.
Yes.
And for me, I didn't want to make my life difficult.
Yes.
At that point, I wanted to do consulting.
Yes.
And also, I was still a student.
Yes.
So I needed to, and for consulting, I want to build software.
Yes.
And if I have to build software, I need to use tools and languages that will enable me like develop software very fast.
Yeah.
So, and Ruby was the right language for that. So I could build, what I started with is building a blog within a few minutes.
Yes.
Using other language, it will take me more time.
Yes.
So I decided this is the language I'm going to be using for consulting and to build my products for customers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Decided to learn more of that.
Yeah.
Became really good at it.
Yes.
Then started doing consulting, build software for like a number of organizations.
And we started a company out of that.
Yeah, started a company called Banta. We were able to, we traveled so many places in Kenya.
So when we come back, we'll talk more about consulting, software development, even we should tell people how much you're able to make at that point. To just maybe as an not to boost, but as an inspiration to someone who, is looking for ways to like sustain, their way of doing stuff. So at this point, thank you very much. And this was the Impact Masters Media. We're having this conversation with the Bernard Banta, CTO Finplus, and this is yours truly, Michael Kimali or MK. Thank you so much.